Well, this is a new spot for us here. We've never done a podcast for.
We haven't done a podcast.
Yeah, over a podcast, bro.
Yo, man, listen. Not enough content. There's nothing to talk about. Anna and I got tired of yapping. You guys didn't have good questions to ask. So
it's also, we were trying to do it weekly. I don't think that's feasible.
Look, if I could talk about other stuff, I could yap for hours on random things, but you don't want to hear me talk about other things, so you won't like my opinions. Most of you will not like my opinions on like 90% of things. So we never made a podcast where I just yap about
stuff. I still liked our podcast. It was called Outside the Box.
Yeah, that was a good name.
That was a good name.
We should redo it sometime with like other stuff. The whole point of that podcast was, though, Outside of the Box was supposed to be like other things. You know?
So how do you want to start this?
I don't know. You guys asked a lot of stupid questions. Let's see.
Well.
Yo, there's some of these that like I shouldn't answer. You know what? Actually, I'm not gonna skip any questions. I'm gonna answer everything you guys have asked.
By the way, this is the questions you guys posted on Instagram last night that you guys want us answered, and here we are. So
starting off strong. How do people pass emissions with downpipes in strict states? You don't.
You don't. Yeah, you just don't.
You don't actually pass emissions in strict states. I'm not saying people aren't getting their cars registered. I'm sure there's a lot of you out there that get your cars registered through devious ways. But if your state has emissions, you are not passing emissions with downpipes.
Yeah, and
plain and simple, it's not happening.
Strict states, Texas, the same way. We have emissions here too.
And I assume you mean catless downpipes here. If you have catted downpipes, there's a lot of catted downpipes that pass emissions. The Boosted 6 ones, for example, he just got them certified in Virginia. They pass.
That's
so
cool.
Yeah, aftermarket downpipes can pass emissions. Catless downpipes will never pass emissions. Flat.
Next.
Okay. Best way and site to download ISTA. This is a great question. I don't know the answer to it. Taylor does.
Google.
No. Chidong will post it in the description. Because there is a way.
For it.
Okay, fine. Let's go find Taylor. Bring the No, do you want to bring the camera? No, wait. We'll cut back to this. Taylor said, Google that shit. I asked him. He said, look, there's like 1 million links on all the BMW forums, on Beamer posts, all these places. He said he found some guy. Oh, there we go. The website he went to was called diagtools.com. Diag-tools.com. Thank you, Taylor. They'll remote in and do it for you. That's the easiest way if you're not computer savvy. Even if you are computer savvy, it's the easiest way. Otherwise, you got to go through all the work to like, you can do it, but you got to follow like a DIY on the forum post.
Unless you want to download the Mark V Super specific ISTA, then good luck.
Yeah.
You're cooked.
Breakdown of all the custom inputs and new features on RaceROM 6. Great question. Anna, can you grab my laptop? Okay. Here are the things currently on RaceROM 6 for the Q50 and Q60 that you can output via Ecutech using custom maps. This is just outputs. Like, this is what the actual function, whatever you do in your custom map, this is what you can output. You can change anti-lag boost target, but there's also separate anti-lag tables. You can set caps or change boost target final if you don't want to use the OEM boost targets. You can set a custom limp mode for certain safety, so you can make a custom safety if you want. You can do cylinder cut probability, which basically is a hard cut. You can do cylinder fill lowered, which like affects boost control and all that. You can modify flex fuel ethanol content, which is strange. I don't know why that's an output, but I've seen that on the BMWs as well. Hey, Amazon guys here. You can do fuel mass multiply, which would be like dumping fuel, removing fuel. You can change the fuel pump base angle target. You can change fuel pump target for the high pressure. You can change fuel pump low pressure duty. You can change ignition timing, injection angle, a bunch of PI things, PI fuel mass target, PI percent. This is all for when we get true integration for PI. We're not there yet.
Yeah.
You can change target AFR. You can change torque actual, torque limits, intake and exhaust cam timing, although exhaust doesn't change. It changes with oil pressure, so there's a very limited range of what you can mess with. Wastegate position targets, and then CAN outputs, 1, 2, 3, 4. All the PI stuff and CAN outputs, I assume, will be moved to the actual dedicated PI stuff when PI releases. So those are dead outputs for now. I assume your question was actually, though, what do we offer you and change, which means that whoever asked this question does not read our posts, does not read descriptions, does not read the website. So I'm going to answer it, but know that I hate you for asking this question because it means that you didn't bother reading it. So the things that we currently offer on RaceROM 6, and keep in mind, you have to pick and choose some of these features if you have certain cal IDs, because some ROMs don't have the memory for all the custom maps, so we can't do all of them, and you have to pick and choose. But currently, you can get the stupid DSG farts or DSG cut or whatever you want to call that. You can get Ghost Cam. You have all of the safeties for fuel pressure, AFR, fuel pressure, AFR, oil pressure, coolant temp safeties. All of those safeties are in it. You can do anti-lag is a part of it. We offer it.
The ref hang delete.
The rev hang delete is gone, which is like better drivability, throttle changes.
That's pretty much it for like your everyday VR32.
Yeah,
you don't need anything else.
And that actually takes up most of the custom map memory on almost all of these cars. For anyone that's got the lower custom map memory, anything more that you want, we'll do on like full send cars, different changes or different abilities. But you would buy the custom tune for that, and we could do it. But that gives you that plus what I just told you and what we can output gives you a rough idea of all the things you can do. So you can get wild with it.
Nice.
Okay. Let me see
what's versus DI.
Oh yeah.
B58.
B58 port versus DI and why. This is a contentious question because there are tuners that disagree, but I think the vast majority of tuners will agree on the B58 platform that there is, and Spool's going to hate me for saying this, there's no reason to do DI when you have PI available. Granted, you're doing PI the right way, which means that you're doing it fully integrated via control, via either MHD Plus or Ecutech, or I guess Rev 2 on BootMod now that that's out. If you're not doing fully integrated PI, yeah, go for the DI upgrades because at least you're keeping all the safeties and you're monitoring everything, right? But with MHD Plus and Ecutech, there is literally no reason not to go PI. And the cost is cheaper. DI is more expensive. And you can run full ethanol for like basically any power level you can imagine running PI versus DI. So we will always, 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 always recommend going PI. There is a simplicity in the DI in that, yeah, you just replace your injectors, replace your pump, but you're limited. So that for that simplicity, sure, it's worth it. If you really want like a clean look, you don't like, you don't want to run the reflex wires, you don't want to tap into CAN bus, you don't want the rails, all that. Yeah, okay, fine. DI works in that sense, right?
There's a few rare cases when like some very, very, very strict countries where they don't allow modifications. Any
modifications, like it can't even visibly look modified. Yeah, then it's fine.
Yeah, and it's also like every single one of our customers that's ever started with DI only.
They go PI.
They always sell their DI stuff after they go PI once they hit the limit. And they never get their money back for the DI stuff because it's so much money and no one's going to pay full price for used parts. That and also like you're only spending that kind of money on DI fueling upgrades because you want big power. When you want big power, do it right. Just get PI and listen to us when we tell you get the ID 1050s or ID 1300s or in some cases ID 1700s. Don't get cheap injectors. Don't get reman injectors. Get the right pump setup. Do a regulator. Do it right. They will come in with, I have 750cc Bosch injectors and a PFS low pressure pump. Can I make 900? Like, the thing is, we'll still tune you, but you have to listen to us when we say like, yo, we're not going to push it harder than this, right? We're not like other tuners that won't touch your setup. We'll still tune it. We'll tune whatever you bring us, but we're going to tell you, hey, this is limited at this point. Yeah. All right. It's funny, like the VR30 guys looking at the B58 guys, like, dude, you guys have all this PI stuff ready and good to go. And you guys are still choosing DI. Yeah. And then when and VR30s have been waiting for PI for so long. We have good DI on the VR30 though. Yeah, to be fair. We do, yeah. Like, but dude, we made 900 horsepower on DI only VR30 3 years ago? Only, the things that's only developed so far only because PI is not a thing for so long. And also that was blending. We blended down to like E50, E45 on that car. So yeah. Okay. What is likely to break on an FBO VR30 with an aggressive transmission tune axles? Not really. Not really, man. If it's a Z, I'll tell you right now, your whole rear end's gonna break because a Z's dog shit. The diff axle. I have video evidence of this. Motor Trend has written articles about how our Z freaking broke at FL2. I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to shit on the Z. Magazine. They hate when I shit on the Z, so I'm not gonna say anything more. For a Q50 and Q60, you are very, 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 very unlikely to break axles if you are stock suspension. If you're stock ride height and you have like a fat tire and you're cutting like 1.4s, 1.3s, you're not going to break shit.
the LSD is going to help you, but you're not going to break your open diff. And the transmission tune, as far as we have seen, is not adding any kind of stress. Second gear launches are not breaking anything on these cars.
Yeah.
The transmission tune, I don't believe that it's going to reduce your transmission life, but I'm not going to comment on that because I need to see. I never comment on stuff like that until I have data. So I'll wait until we've run these tunes for, customers have had them for 30, 40, 50,000 miles, and I can tell you.
Q50 that we use for errands almost every day.
Yeah, so. But we also, to be fair, we put maybe 5,000 miles on that car a year.
Dude, that car is probably a chassis miles is probably the lowest miles Q50 out there. It's had a 8,000
for 2021, probably.
They're not hit 10K?
It barely hit 10K.
10K miles on the Q50 is insane.
We should put on bring a trailer, bro.
Well, please.
All right. What ethanol percentage would you say is a sweet spot for the Q50?
E30. Football E30. That's it. Next.
Yeah. FBO E30, bro. Unless you're willing to spend big money, FBO E30 stock turbos is best bang for your buck.
And honestly, not even full downpipes, just lower downpipes and a catback.
Yes.
Because
lower downpipes, catback, intakes, heat exchanger, FBO E30. Speaking of which, Chidong.
Yes.
When are we doing any pulls? Oh, fine. I guess I'll yell at you when we get to that question. FBO E30 is a sweet spot for any Q50. My knee hurts. Damn.
You're old,
I'm getting old, bro. Yeah.
Right here.
Stage 1 built motor, rods, pistons, cams with VRX80. How would the trans be looking?
This is a VR30, by the way.
Yeah. Stock trans. I don't understand. I see this comment a lot where I think it's people who don't own VR30s or they own VQs or they own a VR30 but listen to people who own VQs or they own a VR30 and read up on random shit. Think the stock trans fails before the stock engine. It does not. A stock trans is good. We have seen customers with 650 or higher wheel torque on a stock trans for years and it runs. Yeah, you have to fill it right. You have to change the fluid. You have to overfill it. But that's true of even if you were making lower power. The stock, the RE7, what is it?
Pretty strong. RE71?
RE7R, yeah.
RE7R
is a great transmission in factory form. Yeah, the transmission tune makes it great, but it holds power. It's not like a ZF8. You're not blowing them up at 600 wheel torque. So, yeah, trans would not be the problem. Do you recommend Meth kit with port injectors? If you do, what brand do you recommend? I assume this is for a VR30, but my answer is going to apply to everybody. I do not recommend Meth. Plain and simple, I do not recommend running Meth. I don't recommend it. I don't recommend it on VR30s. I don't recommend it on B58s. I don't recommend it on Audis. I speak from personal experience. I have run Meth on my own cars.
That did not go well?
It did, yeah. Sure, if you had fully integrated Meth injection, like using reflex, and instead of running ethanol for whatever reason, you decide to run Meth.
Not like a single
port Meth, that's fully integrated though, fully integrated.
Yeah.
Port Meth that is fully integrated, has closed loop fueling and all of that. Sure, but at that point, just run bigger injectors and run E.
Run 85, yeah.
There's no reason to run Meth at that point, right? Unless you mean you want to run full M5, then yeah, if you have the fuel system support full M5, let's send your car. That's great. The car will make power. But do I recommend secondary Meth injection that is not integrated? No, never. Don't ever do it. My S8 that has been down for 2 years is a perfect example of why you don't run anyway.
Well, what if it's just a single nozzle, small nozzle for cooling in the charge pipe?
No, it doesn't offer any cooling.
It's
it doesn't offer anything worthwhile.
Okay.
But yeah, okay, fine. To that point, if you have enough fuel and we're not changing anything in the tune, you just want to add a little bit because it makes you feel good.
Affect fueling.
Because it makes you feel good and you think it's going to add some kind of IAT changes without wetting the sensor, which, by the way, most IAT changes you see, shut up. Most IAT changes that you see from running Meth are purely because it's wetting the sensor. It's not actually lowering IAT.
So all your Middle Eastern boys love Meth though, because they're like, oh my god, it's so hot over here. Oh my god, our cars need
because everybody there listens to everybody else except their tuner.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not gonna say that adding a single Meth nozzle doesn't help. It adds a little bit of octane. It does add charge cooling. It's not enough to justify changing it. Just don't run it where if it fails, your car's unsafe.
Don't make it to where your car
depends Don't depend on it for fueling. That's what I'll leave it at.
Okay.
Fine. Is there a huge drawback to using open box intakes for the VR30 platform? I have said this for literally, I think, 5 years at this point. Hot air intakes are not a thing. I'm sorry. Everyone can disagree with me. Anyway, no, there's no such thing as hot air intakes on a turbocharged intercooled vehicle. The whole point, okay, not everybody understands how turbos work, but let's say it like this. The extra 10 to 20 degrees
of intake temp difference,
pre-turbo intake temp difference, is not translating to 10 to 20 degrees more in your charge air temp. That's not how that works.
VR30, by the way. So
any car, not just VR30.
Like the parameters.
Yeah, cooled charge air. Yeah.
Okay.
People understand, Shadon. They're not as stupid as you.
Okay, well the B58 guys are like, oh, the intake.
I know. Okay, yeah, whatever. It doesn't transit to that much hotter air entering your engine. Let's say it like that. Your intercoolers are working. It's not happening that way. Also, we have shown for years hot air designs. Yeah, you're like in. I don't want. You're right, because they're gonna think, oh, intake air. The temperature before
pre-turbo.
The pre-turbo temperature from at your actual filters, that does go up when you're sitting because under hood temps get higher. Literally, like the second that you move and air is flowing, that temperature plummets. It makes absolutely no difference. Maybe if you're sitting in a hot staging lane, you might notice like a 2-3 degree difference in your starting charge air temp when you get to the line.
We also did a full video on this, and you can see the comparisons between all the back-to-back runs, and you can see the effects of intake temperature has on the charger temperature. And even if there is some difference in charger temperature, the actual numbers on dyno made no difference.
Zero difference.
If anything, the car when it was hotter actually ran a little bit better.
Well, also,
but
also there's technically when you remove a lot of that cowling and stuff, you get more cooling over the actual charge coolers because there's air going over them. It cools out the engine bay better. Yeah. So,
anyway,
there's that.
Yes.
No, there's no difference.
Yeah.
B58 versus S58 is B58 really king of stock motor? And what about built versus built? Built versus built, I would say both platforms are identical, bro. Like they're all in the sevens, right? Like how are you really gonna compare? Stock motor. They handle about the same, bro. Like even though they're built very differently, they handle about the same.
People think S58s are faster because in stock fuel system they can handle a lot more.
Yeah,
the fuel system is so much bigger, and the turbos are the turbos are great. Yeah,
S58 is the best platform hands down if you don't want to do a lot of invasive mods. What I mean by that is if you want a car that's just really good with everything stock other than a downpipe, some ethanol, and a tune, which is like the least invasive you can get, it's king. There's nothing out there. I don't care that people are like, oh, well, it's $80,000. I can build a Coyote. Shut the fuck up. We're not talking about a Coyote. We're talking about an M3 or an M4, which is a fantastic driver's car out of the box, okay? Like, that is a completely different thing. Go drive a G20 and go drive a G80.
Oh, yeah, insane.
If you tell me that a G20 drives like a G80, you're fucking retarded and you don't deserve a car.
Yeah. Even a Supra versus like an M2 is a big difference.
Yeah.
The Supra is so much it takes so much work.
The Supra is a lot closer, but yeah, the M2 out of the box drives better.
Yeah.
Right? So that being said, if you want a car that you buy that has everything set up for you, that you can have fun with in all types of scenarios, not just a straight line, right? And you want good power out of it without spending too much money, there's nothing better than an S58 equipped vehicle. But if you're trying to go full send, bro, and you want like 8, 9,000, 1,200, whatever, get a B58 car. Get a Gen 1 B58 car. Because at the point that you're at 1,000 horsepower, you're running mostly PI anyway. It doesn't matter that it has a weaker DI system.
Mm-hmm. And if the motor can handle it.
And the motor is getting built either way. The trans is getting built either way. Other than the interior and the updated styling on the outside, they're essentially...
One thing I will say for drag racing, though, if you want to go fast, a B58 car is always going to have the advantage because a B58 car in every chassis is going to be lighter than any S58 car in the same chassis.
Yeah, true. No weight reduction.
A 340i, a Supra versus a M2, any chassis, and also the B58 is in the Supra.
Supra's the lightest.
It's the lightest and best chassis for almost anything. For track, for drag racing, for everything. So yeah, if you want to go fast, there you go.
Yep. B58 or VR30, bro. I already know this guy too who asked this. Jesus. We say this all the time. Stock turbo, go for a VR30, bro. If all you care about, okay, if you can't afford an S58, for stock turbo fun, the VR30 stock turbo is better. Just mod for mod. No. And I know B58 guys are like, oh, well, you have to put an exhaust on it. Oh, I'm sorry that the exhaust sucks.
And a heat exchanger.
Oh, no, cooling system sucks. That's still mod for mod. You have better shit from factory. I guess
people argue this for
okay, fine.
Until, like,
if you want to do mod for mod, really, right?
Yeah.
Fine. Just do an open downpipe on a VR30. Same effect, right? VR30s are faster on a stock turbo. That's just how it is. It's true. On a roll, they gap B58s on a VR on stock. We see this all the time and whatever.
Here's the thing, though. You can't stock turbos, downpipes, V58. I think I've gone faster quarter miles than a stock turbo downpipes. Like if you're talking,
true, because they get out of the hole faster. Yeah, but that's also because until now we didn't have transmission tuning.
Yeah, and so but if you look at max
and ZF8 is a better
if you look at max F for stock turbo cars, the B58 is still faster because they've been nice. But that's like with like
I'm talking about for your average guy though.
That's with like Cam's Meth like.
See, that's the problem, right? Like a B58 VR30 is not a question that you can really ask like that, like this or that.
Yeah.
Because it's a nuanced question, like any other car, right? But like if you're gonna put money into a platform and you're gonna spend big money, the B58 has higher potential, right? And that's always been the case. I've never said that's not true. VR30s are fun, and people have a lot of soft spots for the VR30s, right? They're good-looking cars. They honestly, I will still say this: a Q50 or Q60 has amazing styling for a car that's 10 years old. The Q50 is now like 11 years old. That look.
A Q60 is like one of the best-looking modern cars. Like,
100%.
And I drive a Supra.
Yeah, like I agree. Q60 is a beautiful car.
If I can get a Q60 that's maybe a little lighter, all-wheel drive with a like a VR30A equivalent engine.
That'd be sick.
That would be like the best car ever. Like
we could do it. We could do a VR32. Spend $100K. Buy a Q60. Spend $100K. Let's do it. Full send it.
No.
Let's do it. 100K in mods. Run
100K.
Run 8s in a sexy Q60.
We just talked about this. It'll take 40K to run in 7 in my Supra right now.
Less probably.
Yeah, because I already.
Which honestly, I'm like considering just full sending the Supra. We don't full send it because. I think if Baytown had not shut down, we probably would have full sent one of our cars a lot longer. Yeah. I mean, a lot earlier. But we don't have anywhere to take it, so we got to do it on the street. Supras do pretty good on the street, man. Kevin doing 1.4s in a Supra with some prep on the street.
Supra is.
You do it too, then. What, you think you're dumb? You can't do it? Wow, Chidong says he can't drive.
Like Supras, like they always have issues with traction on the street, even from a roll. Like you see all these roll racing videos. I spin, bro. Like from a 60, like. At 800 horsepower.
Skill issue.
Bro.
15-inch conversion with better camber arms.
Yeah, maybe.
How many maps come with up to 4 custom maps on a custom tune? That's true for MHD, true for Ecutech, true across all the platforms we support. Who is this? Is that Kyle?
That's Kyle. Kyle, not Asian Kyle. This is white Kyle from Dallas.
Oh, Kyle Machado?
The X3M.
Wow, I'm just like
outing X3M, bro.
Outing our guys' names. Why are you gay? I'm only gay for you, Kyle.
Why are you gay? That's what he said, by the way.
When's the Hawaii trip? When you sign up, enough people, like I asked you.
This is Raf.
Yeah, Raf.
Yeah.
When you get enough people, I'll come out there. I want to visit Hawaii. Make it worth my time, bro. Otherwise, as Betty.
How many cars?
There are plenty of places in the world I'd rather visit before Hawaii if I'm going for vacation. So make it worth my while. And
How many cars minimum to set up a dyno day with us anywhere in the world?
What do we say 12, right? Yeah, 12 days minimum.
Yeah.
Not 12 days. 12 cars minimum.
12 cars.
It's for us to fly out and make it worth. Because honestly, look, I'm going to say this right now. There is no benefit to me coming out there, taking my team out there, taking time out of my day, paying flights, hotels, food, renting a shop, doing all that when we could do the same thing for you on the street, or if you go to a shop yourself and rent a dyno. Yeah. It doesn't make sense. And on top of that, you're like, oh, why don't I get discounts for a dyno? Because I'm not hurting for the money. We're not hurting for tunes. We are busy enough as it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know most tuners do that and they have discounts. That's because they probably don't get enough tunes to make it worth their while, or they don't pay attention to the remote tune customers and give them less priority. But like, we are busy enough with our like 1,300 tunes a year that doing a dyno day financially makes 0 sense for me, which is why
for 10 cars.
Like, which is why we have a minimum, 12 car, and we charge you the dyno fee. Because, again, it makes no sense for me to pay all that, lose money on it when you're going to come to me anyway. So 12 cars minimum.
Yeah.
And I'll probably still be annoyed that I have to come out.
I mean, at least Hawaii, it's cool.
Just give it to me straight. Can a VR30 be reliable for daily driving? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We have a Q50 here at the shop as an errand car.
I had a VR30. Okay. My best example, I learned to tune on my first Red Sport, my 2018 Red Sport, okay? When I was learning to tune, and it was just my car that I was tuning, multiple times down the strip pulling 10 degrees of timing, like straight up knock retard 10 degrees, cars in limp mode. I've had charge air bubbles. I've had stupid shit. That thing lasted 40,000 miles of abuse, and the only reason I don't have it is because I had to turn in the lease, which, oh, you modified a lease car? Yeah. Go cry me a river. They're hella reliable. We have customers that have 100,000 miles on their cars, 150,000 miles on their cars. Some are on the original turbos. It is a reliable platform if you take care of it, just like anything else. Now, does Infiniti have quality control problems? Yes. As you know, that's just true. At that price point, I would not pay $65,000 for a new Q50 these days. That's insane.
Red Sport loaded,
right?
Like fully loaded, yeah.
I had a fully loaded Red Sport, but it was like a wild lease deal. And I would have never bought that car. I don't think anyone should be spending $60K on that car, right? Yeah. The car's built like a $30,000 car, but the used car values on that car is great. And it's a great bargain. It's really fun FBO E30, and they're hella reliable, and they're very comfortable. To be quite honest, driving that around, it's one of the most comfortable daily drivers I ever had.
I fall asleep driving our Q50.
Yeah, they're great, and it's yeah. So, yeah, I give it to you straight. Yeah, they can be reliable, but just don't be stupid with it.
Yeah, if it weren't a reliable car, we wouldn't trust it to run errands every day and have to rely on it.
Chidong brought up a good point the other day. He was like, yo, in like 4 years, he can count on a single hand how many cars have had an engine failure on the dyno on a VR30. So, for all the unreliable crap that they get, it's not really that unreliable as long as it's maintained properly. Every car that has failed has come in with issues. It's come in with oil pressure issues. It's had a not great history, or it's super clapped out, or it's sludged up.
It usually fails on the first pull, a baseline pull, or right after. So that could, because the car already
lack of maintenance, right?
Yeah, not even that. So sometimes they just get unlucky. Like
sure,
one of the last ones we had with a rod bearing failure. That car is perfectly maintained. I asked the guy it's just unlucky QC problems,
Yeah, that's like stock VR30s fail for the same reason, right?
The amount of
that's a good caveat though, right? Like, you don't see G20s, which is a 340i, M340i, people that don't know, failing, like blowing up stock motors as frequently as you do on bone stock Q50s, right? So there is like a quality control issue with the cars, but if it hasn't shown you any issues, you have no reason to suspect it's not going to be reliable.
Yeah, and don't get all this wrong. Like, there's some dud ass B58s out there that's come to us, and we're like, bro, this thing's never gonna make power. Like, there's unhealthy B58s. It's not like they're not built by God, bulletproof, like that people think they are, right?
Yeah, there are B58s that have issues too.
There's absolute duds out there.
They just don't talk as much about it, to be quite honest. BMW guys don't cry as much as Infiniti guys, I think. Yeah. But I think that's because Nissan had a reputation for being reliable for so many years. So people bought these cars thinking they had like the legendary Nissan reliability of like the 90s and the early 2000s. That's not the case. Nissan in the 2010s and onwards is not reliable as a whole, right? If you look at consumer ratings and all that.
Yeah.
Whereas BMW has kind of gone the opposite way, right? BMWs were known for like all these problems and all, and modern BMWs are comparatively very reliable. So I think it's also like a mindset thing, right? But I'm sure if we put numbers, like pen to paper, and we did the numbers and we had those numbers in front of us, stock failure rates are probably similar across both.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, when are you coming back to Cali? Why don't you come visit me,
Caesar? Yeah.
Yeah, why don't you come visit us? How come we always got to come to Cali? Why don't you come here?
Hey, that's true. He's never visited us.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
ETA for Transit on the Newsy? Sorry, man. 0 ETAs. I don't know if it's on Ecutech's roadmap for the year or next year. I have no idea. I don't believe there is an ETA right now, and I don't believe it's anytime soon. Another question. Do you think people overbuild their VR30s for basic HP goals like 600? No, most of you underbuild your VR30s. Yeah. The vast majority of you underbuild your cars.
I wish you guys overbuild it.
Yep. We get BMW guys overbuilding their cars. Infiniti guys,
that's because we tell them.
Infiniti guys, you guys don't overbuild. So many times you have people come and we just gotta, dampen your expectations, man. No, if you want 600 to the wheels, Overbuilding would be that you had all the fueling mods, all the fueling in the world, all the cooling in the world, and you had a turbo, and you're set up to go for a bigger turbo. That's overbuilding. Realistically, what all you guys do is you buy the cheapest high pressure pump you can, the cheapest low pressure solution you can, the cheapest injectors, which usually by the AMS stage 1s, which are 7% over stock, and then you buy like a stage 1 turbo, and you're like, yo, I want 620 out of this. That's not overbuilding. That's the opposite,
you can
right?
Do
no,
it, but like,
I don't think you guys overbuild at all. You should really overbuild, though. You should consider overbuilding. Same guy asked another question. Based on the forged rod and piston 909 horsepower VR30 you've tuned.
Boosted 6 car?
That was the demon car, yeah.
No, this is recent. We just made 900 with Meth, right? On his current P50.
I guess so. I guess we made that. Yeah, I guess he's talking about... I thought... whatever, man. We tuned so many cars. It's okay.
Yeah.
On stock block possible, yeah, I think like you mean on like piston rod. You're saying stock block meaning like a stock casting.
Of course, I guess it's a weird question. He asked about the number on the raw piston car, but
isn't the AMS motors, aren't those stock blocks still? It's a stock casting, right?
Yeah, everything's stock.
I think AMS has already shown that you can do 1,000 horsepower on a stock casting. If your question is stock block, like unopened stock block,
no. One pole on the dyno.
One pole on the dyno, yeah. Otherwise, no. If you mean stock block, as in you don't consider the AMS one stock block because they're they're stroker motors, right? Where they go to 3.2.
You do.
If you mean like not that, and you mean like stock displacement, stock everything, just piston rods with nothing else done, I think a piston rod motor can make 1,000. Yeah. Okay. More LF4 content, Blackwing content. We would love to do, honestly. Yeah, we love tuning the LF4s, man. We just don't do enough of them because we don't advertise. To be fair, we do a lot of cars that we really like that we don't advertise because we're already so busy with the work. This is like the emptiest the shop has been in a long time, and that's because we stopped taking in work for like 3 weeks so we could catch a break, get the shop in order, clean it up, and now we're going to start picking up again, right? I would love to do LF4s, man. If I know you're tuned by us. If you got other boys with LF4, send them to us, man. I would love for us to have like reels of LF4s gapping. They're a great platform. Like genuinely, the LF4 is such not underrated because people don't say that it's slow, but it's just underappreciated. I think not enough people buy the LF4s. Like a 2016 ATS-V,
great
like 30 grand,
great
bro.
Bargain for performance.
30 grand.
And they have a nice wheel tire and brake package from the factory.
Yeah, and they hook on the street, dude. You can get like 1.560 foots on the street with some radials and prep on that car.
Yeah.
Like. They are. I honestly, like, if I had time, it's not even a money thing. If we had time, I would buy an ATS-V just to have a fun ATS-V.
Because the ATS-V,
they sound so good too.
That's when GM really stepped up its game to give you a car from factory that you can track.
Yep.
Like the same time like a SS1LE or whatever package you can get or a Z28. They are track ready from the factory.
The ATS-V has a 6th gen chassis, right? Or the rear end, 6th gen rear end.
Something like that.
Yeah,
but
they're great cars.
Yeah, I think one of our friends pulled up in one. I was like, these are big brakes on there. Is that stock? He's like, yeah, this is stock.
Hamad.
Yeah. I'm like, dude, this is great.
No, I love the LF4. Bring me more LF4s. I don't advertise because it's a very competitive world in American car tuning. The same reason that we don't advertise, we do LTs, even though there's an LT1 with a supercharger on the dyno. What supercharger we put on that?
You guys did that. I don't know.
Whatever. I have to dyno tune that, right? Like that's sitting there. We do LTs. We've done LT4s. I haven't done a lot of the older LSs. But like, yeah, we do that. I just don't advertise because A, we're busy enough with our regular stuff. B, I don't have anyone I can teach this to, although I can teach Nick now. And 3, yeah, like it's too competitive. I don't fight for the lowest dollar.
I'm gonna love the next question.
What is better, air-to-air inner chiller for a VR30? I love the inner chiller. Okay, the inner chiller does not work well on a lot of platforms. On the VR30, it's actually really, really good. Okay, the VR30, out of all the cars that we've done inner chillers on, VR30 gets the lowest charge air temps. Okay, charge air temp for the BMW guys, when we were referring to VR30s, is post intercooler. The VR30 gets the best post intercooler temps of any of the cars that we've done inner chillers on.
Yeah.
I think if you've got the know-how to do an inner chiller, man, and you're going to do it right, inner chiller all day long on the VR30, get some extra reservoirs, insulate them so you can have a lot more fluid. Fantastic. Air to air for a circuit track is always going to be better.
Air to water is king.
Air to water is a good mix. Oh, you mean air to water with an inner chiller is king?
No, air to water. That's it.
I mean, whatever. Air to air is if you're gonna do like circuit, like laps. You want air to air. You can't do an inner chiller for that.
Or even a lot of highway like Mexico racing.
Back to back racing, air to air.
I could do 2 poles in a row,
and then you have to roll a little bit to let the inner chiller.
Yeah.
We don't have an extra capacity tank.
Yeah.
We're completely. It's just a stock capacity on there. If we had if we had a tank in the back, but then you're adding weight. Realistically, air to air is the lightest.
Yeah.
You're gonna get like a decent amount of weight savings when you go air to air, and it's repeatable. But inner chiller for drag racing, where you're like in a controlled environment and you have time to like let the inner chiller run and cool down. 100%.
I mean, if you're running a tank in the trunk, might as well just do air to water and just add ice in the tank and do an ice.
No, inner chiller. Shut up. Don't listen to Chidong. He's wrong.
Okay.
I have a 2016 transmission. This is a Q50. If I want the trans tune, would I need a whole new trans? You need to swap the TCU. You don't need a new trans. You need a new TCU.
Yeah.
Is there
16, 17, and
not all? There's 17s we've tuned. We've tuned plenty of 17s. So 2016 is the only one that for sure you cannot do.
Oof.
The other one, 17 is a hit or miss. 18, I've not seen an 18 that we can't tune yet.
Okay.
Is there any power differences between top mount and stock location for a big turbo on a B58? Oh, you mean
turbo?
If you're talking about like a full frame turbo, whether you do bottom or top mount? No.
Big boost versus a top mount is the same.
But big boost makes a top mount too now.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone makes a bottom mount full frame anymore. No. Do they?
Big boost, they still do. I think
they still do.
Yeah.
If it's the same turbo, like, and I don't mean like a DAW 6969 versus a 6969. I mean like a true full frame, whether it's top or bottom mount, makes no difference.
Yeah,
it's just for looks. I mean, I prefer top mounts. Yeah. Easier to work on, easier to install.
Yeah.
And they look cool when you pop the hood.
It's 100% for the clout. There's no clout involved. Honestly, a bottom mount is pretty nice. It's less tubing involved, less stuff involved.
True, but it's harder to install.
And it's right there on the B58. And also,
Chidong has small hands.
Oh, okay.
Keep that in mind.
Also, I think for heat management, it helps a lot too. Well, that's why some of the
having it lower helps.
Yeah,
how?
Because you can put a big heat shield right there, and then all your plastic on the bullshit.
Oh, true,
and it's so close to your
there's people who melt lines and shit when they have the top mount. Yeah,
and that opens up that space for other stuff like a couch can and other stuff. That's why some of the track Supras, they do a bottom mount turbo set up purely for that.
But let's be honest, we mod cars for clout, so just do the top mount.
Yeah, pretty much. Or if you can't fit, if you're dragging a huge turbo, you can't fit it in a stock location.
Yeah.
Then you have to do top mount. That's why all the fast cars. But there's still one of the 7-second cars. I think EOS. That's a bottom mount kit. That's its own kit.
Oh really?
Yeah, that's a bottom mount kit. Yeah. So yeah, no difference.
I like this next question.
Oh god.
What's the best engine and platform to work on and why?
I'm assuming only platforms we support, not everything, right?
I mean, how else could I answer, right?
Okay,
how else could I answer? I can only answer on the ones I support.
Okay.
They're going to hate the answer.
Am I going to hate the answer?
You're going to love it. S58s.
Yeah.
They are... S58s lack the quality control issues for the most part that all the other platforms we work on have, right?
Yeah.
Very consistent. Owners are not afraid to spend money. The owners don't complain about having to get the right parts, and the majority of them are happy on stock turbo. They're not really going for crazy power because stock turbo is already 7 to 750.
They freak out like, oh my god.
Yeah, 7 to 750 running mid 5, 60 to 130 running 9s in the quarter. That's all most people want. So S58 is any S58 car, specifically the M3 or M4, because they're going to be faster than the X3M, X4M, right? Yeah. Best platform to work on by far. The cars are clean. They're actually easier to work on than a Q50. Our techs will tell you that they prefer to work on M3s and M4s versus a Q50.
Yeah,
once you have the specialized tools that BMW requires and you know how things are done, it is like that every single time. Whereas a VR30, you can do everything right, and then it's just the quality of clamps and stuff used from factory are not great. So since you're going to go replace everything from factory, you're going to have things that get loose over time because that's just how Infiniti built those cars.
Yeah.
Right? So M3, M4...
M2, X3M,
S58 as a platform. And then I would say number 2 for me, I'm trying to think of all the cars, LF4s.
Yeah, but you don't have to do much to them.
That's why. That's why. Okay, so that's why I'm saying these are the best, because you guys don't have to do much. Our lives are easier when you get those cars because there's less for us that we have to do.
Yeah. The B58 is almost up there with the S58, except that B58's there's a lot of Gen 1 cars that have a lot of issues. And
actually, I will say, and I'm not just saying this because I know VR30 guys are probably crying right now that I didn't say VR30. FBO E30 VR3s, bro.
It's so
fantastic.
Easy, bro.
FBO E30 VR30. Sorry, yeah, FBO E30 VR30, which is why I want to do that. I want to finish that series and actually give you guys an OTS E30 map, even though Moonshine doesn't want me to, because they are really consistent like that. They might not all make the same power, but they're really easy to do.
The same reason you want to give it a full bolt-on E30 OTS tune is the same reason we kind of want to do a OTS 700 horsepower S58 tune. They're so consistent.
Yep, that we feel confident doing it.
But it's because it still takes some work.
There's still some nuance. Yeah.
I can't guarantee that an OTS tune can run at whatever times that you guys are running out there every single time. It's close, I think, but yeah, it's kind of funny how that works.
Is it fast?
That's
from Troy.
Is it fast?
Faster than you, Troy, because you don't drive your car.
Oof.
What's the best setup you would recommend for a 600 horsepower VR30? Z1 VRX 60s. If I'm trying to keep in mind,
just
like
stage 2 everything. So stage 2
everything. You don't need stage 3.
Yeah.
Well, no, but see, because most of these guys that get it don't want to blend. So I would say stage 3 everything. If you're gonna ask me for like ease of use and daily driving, Z1 VRX 60s, stage 3 fueling all across the board.
Dual low pressure, right?
Yeah, heat exchanger and downpipe catback. Intake, you don't have to. Actually, technically, at 600 horsepower, you will need an intake. Or at least you got to replace the coupler.
Yeah. And then intercoolers if you're balling.
You don't need that, no. So stage 3 fueling, so stage 3 high pressure, stage 3 low pressure, stage 3 injectors. That way you don't have to blend.
What happened to overbuilding?
This is overbuilding. Flex fuel kit, Z1 VRX 60s, downpipe exhaust, and intakes. All you need.
Nice. Oh, God.
Why did Hussain give up on the shop Z, or was it Chidong? I think it's Chidong. I yell at him every day. I yell at him every day. Chidong, go do 60 to 130s. Okay,
we already did. We did it already.
Actually, okay. So we are on a road that when we moved into the shop 4 years ago, this road was empty. The road back here was empty. Okay, in the last 2 years, they have built like 7 apartment complexes on this road. So the traffic has picked up immensely. We can no longer just go out middle of the day and do 60 to 130 runs like we used to.
Even middle of the night sometimes. Dude, there's traffic.
It's just traffic.
Freaking like
also, Houston in general has grown so much in the last 3-4 years that we just don't have the space to do it. We don't have a track. So when you have a platform like the Z that doesn't really hook well on the street, even though we've done all the suspension on it, it doesn't really hook well on the street. But it's just the platform's not meant for the street like that. Not drag racing on the street at that power level, right? What do you really want us to do? Also, it's 3,500 DA, like freaking 300 days out of the year here, right? I'm not breaking any records on the street in that car.
Wait till winter and then trailer the car to either Dallas, Evadale, or somewhere else, whatever, to go run.
And that would involve
maybe 5 times.
Us not being here, because I have to take at least 3 people there, right? Which is half the staff, which would mean that you guys would cry about revisions not getting done, cry about your packages not being shipped, cry about us not answering the phone. All for what?
Just so we can say we ran this time.
Yeah, all for what? How many Zs are there getting tuned? Really?
How many Zs are pushing this kind of power and really looking for that kind of...
Exactly. Majority are not. We get Z customers, and the ones that come to us already know us. They know us from the Q50 platform. I truly believe if you think that the VR30 and the Q and the VR30 and the Z are that far apart that our knowledge as the biggest VR30 tuner does not transfer across, you're not a customer that I want, to be quite honest. So, yeah, I'm going to be honest. I've thought about selling that Z probably every week for the last year. I don't, because everyone...
It's like, wait, go back to that. So it's equivalent of saying that we can tune a Super Blake, but we can't tune an M240i.
It doesn't work like that. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, okay,
and speaking of which, if I was going to put 50 grand into a Z to make it run 8s, I'd rather put 50 grand into a Supra, run 7s, and get more B58 tunes. I'm not going to lie. I'm a businessman at the end of the day. This is a business. I love all of you. I love our customers. I love what we do. I got into this because it's a passion. End of the day, it's about what makes sense as a business. The Z never made sense as a business. I wish that 3 years ago I had not bought into the hype for the Z and I'd bought a G80 instead. We would be so much further ahead on the G80s right now if we had bought it. Not in terms of our tuning capability. I'm sure that would have evolved, sure, but just in terms of our reputation on the G80s. Like, we do really well with S58s locally, but we would be like international with the G80s by now if I had just bought that instead of that.
Yeah, when we had our M4, it was like people would come to the shop just to look at the M4. because they say, hey, there's a shop here with a shop in Forest.
And that thing was like, it had carbon on everything too.
Yeah,
so it was a nice.
It wasn't that
car.
crazy of a build. It's just the hybrids and PI.
There was also that was about a year and a half, almost 2 years ago.
Yeah, nobody had top mount.
Yeah, nobody was doing top mount and stuff like that.
It's funny. We
didn't do top mount. We did hybrids.
Yeah, I'm saying but nobody had like a crazy setup.
Yeah.
But now the thing is, we don't post Mo's car enough. But dude,
Mo's cars
is the most insane G80 M3 in Houston.
We should just do it.
We never bring it out.
Honestly, we should do a feature on just Mo's car one time.
We've done it a few times. Like I've done.
No, like do a YouTube video just of Mo's car.
Oh yeah.
You know, like you did an original. You should do a new one with the friggin' 4500 launch that we have on the stock converter, all the anti-lag shit. People like that. That's clout.
It's a G40 1150 turbo on Mo's M3 on a stock torque converter, and we got that thing to launch at like 20 psi.
And it gets up to 20 psi right away.
Yeah, so that's like
we got Eddie's car on an upgraded converter doing what
35.
Yeah, I didn't turn down the boost because I didn't think you would make that boost target. And he's just like, yo, I just made 35 pounds off the hit immediately, and I'm like on a dig off the hit, meaning like he stalled up, hit it 35 pounds. So I was like, oh, okay,
pretty cool. Yeah, these cars cook.
So that answers the Z. Second shop, VR30. Are we doing a second shop? VR30, E30 video, spark plug gapping for 91 versus E30 VR.
That's 3 questions. That he's cheating.
It's cheating, yeah.
Yeah.
Second shop. I get asked this a lot actually about if I would open a second shop. It makes no business sense to open a second location within the United States for me. Because you guys ship your cars nationwide. I'm busy as it is. If I open another shop, sure, I can get more local customers. But to be quite honest, I think anyone with a performance shop is going to tell you this. Unless you're using the performance shop to promote your other business, like, you know, you make parts, you tune, you have like a brand that goes to events and all that, the shop is never making that much money for you.
I'm going to say this. I guess that's still true. If we close down the shop today and move into the office and do only tunes, we will make just the same amount of money, or maybe even more actually with less overhead.
My bottom line would be higher if I did not have a shop.
Yeah, so the fact that we still have a shop is just because we want a shop.
And that's just the nature of inherent performance work. Now, if I had a shop that did like 50% service work on top of performance, it would be profitable. Performance work only is not a very profitable business to be in because of the inherent nature of it. You're modifying things past spec, past OEM. Most aftermarket parts are not an exact plug and play. Even if they are, there's always a little bit of modification. There's always something that's different, right? And so when that happens, it's just, you know, so there's no point in me doing a second shop. Would I like to have a Racebox in other countries? Absolutely. Cool. If there's anyone interested in franchising Racebox in another country, hit me up, bro. I would love.
Trust to manage that.
Yeah,
you know,
but you know that's why if someone's you know sharing the risk, let's do it. So that's the answer for the second shop thing. Not in the United States. There's no point. VR30, E30 video, already talked about that. We need to get on that. Yeah. Also, I have so many goodies to make that car look better, and Chidong's like, no, we can't do that until we finish this video. And I'm like, why? No, people will appreciate if it doesn't look like shit in the videos. Well, and he's like, no, I want it to be clapped out running it. Because I want to relate to the lowest comment in the Wow. He said you guys have clapped out cars. Think about it. You look at every shop builds, right? Some fucking crazy nice car with fucking carbon everywhere. All the crazy shit. That's basically what I have for the car. I have carbon everything for the car. I have new headlights. I have built that at the end of the day, if we do run a 10-second quarter mile on a 4.0 E30, I want that car to be the exact same car you have in your driveway. With the dust. With the dust. Yeah. I have coilovers. I have everything to make that car look great again, and I just haven't because Chidong won't let me. But we got to finish. We're very close. I mean, really, we're just waiting for a little bit of cooler weather, which now it's October. So I'm not trying to get Hero DA because we don't get Hero DA here anyway, but I would like to run the car in less than 1,000 DA if I'm going to go for any times that are like, if I want, you know, a 10-second E30 car with less than 5,000 invested in it, that's going to have to be in decent weather. It's not going to happen when it's 95 degrees outside or 100 or 110, but soon. That is all that's left now is running it on 93, seeing what times we run on 93, putting a flex fuel kit, retuning for E30. Yeah, there's no shot in running any good times on special 93 in this weather right now. Yeah, and then just running it. Because we're doing it on a street too, not at a strip or anything. So I can't count on a crazy good 60-foot to get us there. But soon, very soon. All power, baby. Spark plug gap. So stock turbos, we say 24,000s. Doesn't matter whether you're on 91 or E30. When you go big turbo, ask us. Every car is different. We'll look at your log and see if we want to gap down or not.
When you buy spark plugs from us, they're not gapped.
They're not gapped. Yeah, the ones you saw, you have to gap them.
Yeah.
And, yo, the amount of people that buy spark plugs, like, my mechanic says it doesn't fix. Get a new mechanic. I'm sorry.
Oh, they don't
get a
fit
new mechanic.
Oh,
if I, as your tuner, that has done 3,000 VR30s, we've probably installed 97506 spark plugs on over 300 VR30s at this point. I'm telling you it fits, and your mechanic's not. If you choose to believe your mechanic, please don't ever come to me for a tune. Ever. I don't want you. Like, I don't want your headache. I don't want your questions. No. If I'm telling you it fits, it fits. If your mechanic says no, tell him to lube it up and do it. If he doesn't want to, find a new mechanic.
Spit on it.
That's just the truth of it. Or go buy stock plugs if your mechanic's stupid.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Oh, and don't fucking call my shop. Get Anna on the phone. She tells you something and be like, I want to talk to someone in the back. I've instructed her to tell you to go fuck yourself. All of my people here are knowledgeable, especially on the VR30s. If it comes from anyone in my shop, I stand behind it 110% because I have told them that. They will never answer something that I have not answered for them before. Sorry. Fuck your mechanics.
I'm going to have to do all the beep, 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 beep.
Hope my mom doesn't watch this.
Or just let your nuts hang. Don't censor anything.
No, then YouTube demonetizes
No, it's
us.
okay.
That's what the podcast was for, Chidong, that you stopped doing.
I still censor it.
What's up with the oil and gunk in VR30's passenger side blow-by?
Yeah.
Sorry, let me finish reading that.
Because it has
VR30's passenger side intake, it's blow-by. Put a catch can on.
It has a little return.
Or just clean it, or vent to air.
Yeah.
Or vent to atmosphere, rather.
Any modern turbo cars,
they all do that.
They're all going to be oily, yeah.
A lot of people see this oil, like you see posts on the forum and Facebook. Oh my God, I got oil, my turbo's blown. No, it's just blow-by.
Yeah, you should
modern DI cars have hella blow-by.
Charge pipe off a B58.
It's filled with oil.
Yeah, filled with oil, yeah.
Yeah. Any testing and news regarding potential port injection integration with RaceROM 6 on VR30s? Yes, it's being worked on. Currently, all we can do is have Reflex report flex fuel content and report safety for low pressure fuel. But there are beta tests that we have done and other tuners have done where there is Reflex integration working, but it takes up too much memory in the custom maps right now, and it's a lot of setup required. It's not integrated like it is fully where we have separate PI tables. That's coming. I think it should be within the year.
Or just buy.
But don't. I don't control this. That's Ecutech. So, but I think it should be within the year. Is custom tune for stock turbo Gen 2 B58 worth it? I used to say no. Okay, I used to say no because stage 2 maps are really fast. But we have done enough tunes on our dyno where we see a stage 2 and we compare it. It's not as much of a drastic difference as it is on S58s. There are some cars that make great power on an OTS map and they will not make more on a tuned map. But I would say a lot of you can still gain like 10 to 20 horsepower on a custom tune, especially if you're on E.
Yeah, on ethanol, 100%.
Yeah, on 93, not so much. If you're going to run ethanol, yes.
The most we do, the main thing we do on our custom tune is we give you a better power band and better mid-range, because a lot of OTS tunes are, they're kind of weak down low. Well,
to be fair, they also do that because a lot of you guys don't actually watch what you're filling for flex fuel. And so they want to account for the guys who are going to overfill and underfill so you don't hit fuel cuts. And freak out that, the OTS tune blew my car up.
They also, boost,
the amount of people who have a BMW who hit a fuel cut, see the codes, and think their car is blown up, blows my mind to this day.
The fuel injection shut-off codes. And it goes
that's the car saving your car.
Because it goes to system without those cylinders firing, so it sounds like a misfire.
And it does throw a misfire code, to be fair. But like that's the car saving itself.
So another thing though on the B58 specifically, a lot of times you have to get a custom tune versus OTS because the OTS tunes run too much timing, even on the 91.
And you pull, if you have bad gas around you, it pulls timing too much.
It's never gonna work. I have tuned a lot of J1 B58s because those cars are very sensitive to because they're high compression.
And they're always in limp mode on an OTS tune.
Dude, they always hit super knock codes on OTS. It doesn't matter what OTS codes, OTS map you're on.
And to be fair, that's not knocking the OTS map.
No,
that's just. The super knock code is basically the car like, hey, I don't like this. We're going to put it in limp mode now, right? Super knock doesn't mean your car is blown up. It means the car saw that and said, hey, let's chill out. You got bad gas.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of Gen 1 B58s that needs a custom tune on 93 or 91 more than the Gen 2 B58s because the Gen 2 cars are a little better about that. And those cars, honestly, sometimes like you said, you don't gain much on a custom 93 tune versus an OTS tune. It'll be like 420 horsepower on OTS and like maybe 425, 430 on custom. And I just give you more torque. That's pretty much it. Yeah.
What's the perfect build for an exciting daily Q60? FBO E30. That's it. FBO E30 is the most exciting daily Q60.
Honestly,
the stock drivability, the torque on stock turbos, it is the most fun car around town. Yeah, you're not going to gap everybody on the highway, but if you're running mid-7, 60 to 130, which is like the average E30 car these days in like decent weather, right?
Like good weather. Not in Houston weather.
Not in Houston, but like most of you don't live in 3000 DA. But that's exciting. Like that is a fun car to drive around town. It's enough power to gap 99% of cars on the street.
I mean, yeah, but I will add though, if you for a daily driver, you never have to worry about. I will add a high pressure pump, and then you can just mix up to full 85. Yeah, anytime you want.
Yeah, okay, fine. For exciting, just go like a stage 2 pump and run full 85. Yes.
Yeah, and then it'll also be flex fuel, so you can run any fuel from 93 all the way up to
But that way you don't have to care about blending. Yeah,
all the way up to E85. Yep.
If I got the Ecotec device already, what package do I need for the Q50? That's stock. What pack? Huh?
I think he means.
Oh, okay. Buy the OTS tune and buy the license, because unless your thing came with a preloaded license, which most don't. So, because I'm assuming you bought it used. So if you have the kit, you just go say, I want an OTS tune. Yes, I have an Ecotec kit. Check if you have that black desk key in there. A lot of them don't. In which case you would say, I want phone flash, or you want the desk if you want to flash with your computer, and then I need a license, and that's it. And for a stock, you do OTS. There's no point doing a custom tune. RB Shop GTR when? It's a great question to end off on.
There's more actually.
More came in?
Yeah. Well, one more. We'll do one more. Okay.
Where? Oh, it's at the top, huh?
Yeah. I'm gonna answer this first. GTR when?
Can I say what I want to say?
Go ahead. I don't think we're losing any customers over this, because we don't really care about GTRs.
I am not a fan of the GTR platform.
You're going that route. I thought you meant like it's
like they look cool, they shoot cool flames, they sound really good. I personally, I have driven many GTRs. I've driven them for long periods of time, for weeks at a time. I have never liked a single GTR that I have driven as a daily driver or anything other than a race car. A GTR is a lot of fun when you're in the mood for, a really clunky transmission and a lot of noises and all that. But as like a car to have around, other than the attention it gets from people,
it is a clout car because it's a GTR.
But other than that, I've never wanted one. So as a shop car, I'm not going to do it. Also, back to the point, if I want a fast GTR, I got to spend $100K to get a fast GTR. I could spend 30, 40K in his Supra and have a 7-second Supra that's going to be faster.
Go to M3.
Yeah, and like 100K in a GTR also does not let you run 7s, right? 100K in a GTR might run 7s, but like I could do it in a Supra, and I like a Supra more. No shop GTR, unless I will say there was a customer one time that sent us his GTR for diag. We diagged it correctly, and he did not want to do it. It needed just an injector driver, and he didn't want to do it. And he's like, bro, I want to sell it. I didn't know what he was selling it for. He never told me what he was going to sell it for. I found out that he sold this. It had a built stroker motor in it, built transmission. It was a black edition. Had a nice reupholstered interior. It was well kept. Had a nice set of wheels on it. He sold that shit for $50,000. It hurt.
We should have bought that.
I would have bought it. Oh, Anna says they're outdated. I agree. The GTR platform is outdated, very much so.
Yeah, and they all sound broken. If you ever driven one, because when they talk about the rawness of it, it just sounds broken.
It feels like a race car, man. Like it is the worst DCT that I have ever driven. Even if you like refine the transmission, you can get it better. But like compared to any other DCT in a car of that value on the market, and also like if I don't want a super outdated GTR, I gotta buy a 2017 plus, a clean 2017 plus GTR. At best, you get it for $90,000. Most of them are 100 or over for a clean one.
You can buy a used G80 with very low miles for the city.
Which has a way better interior.
All-wheel drive interior, the tech.
M3 on top. Anna agrees. BMW interior is on top.
If you really want a two-door car, it's the same size.
Yeah. M4 looks better too, in my opinion. But I know they don't get the same clout as a GTR.
Yeah.
But
because you see more M3, M4s on the street right now in Houston than GTR. So. There's
okay,
that,
that's that. And then I guess one more question came in.
That one last question is not.
I said I'd answer all of them. BMW B58 fueling when it comes to E85.
PI. Yeah,
PI. Yeah.
E4,
either
PI.
stick to E40, E50, stock DI, and a stock turbo, or and this is
PI.
TU. A Gen 1 needs a pump anyway.
TU.
Dude, there's Gen 1s that cannot run 93 tunes without a pump because their pumps are so bad.
Yep.
Right? So TU pump DI, you're stuck at E40, E50 on a stock turbo. Don't you dare come to me with an upgraded turbo and ask me to do ethanol on stock fueling. We will flat out say no. I've turned away many customers and said I'm not doing that.
On our website, when you buy an upgraded turbo tune, it says PI
requires
or
PI
DI
or
required.
Honestly, half the time I want to get rid of the upgraded DI and just say requires PI. But whatever, we still tune for people, so it's fine. Anyway, thank you for coming to my yap session. Well, you guys submitted more questions, and Chirong thought they were really good.
The second we ended.
So we're back, and we're not dressed up this time because I'm tired. Chirong's wearing
Bucky's.
A militant raccoon. What is that? Militant beaver.
It's Bucky's.
A militant beaver. It's Bucky's if you guys know what Bucky's is. I think everybody knows. It's out of Texas now. It's all over the country now, right?
Yeah.
Chirong lives off Bucky's and Monsters and Red Bull and other gas station snacks. He doesn't eat real food. That's how he stays so skinny. It helps. His driver mod. All right.
Oh, please.
This is a screenshot. So I got, what is this?
Just the top view.
Now that the Z1 turbos, 60s, 70s, and 80s, referencing the VRX 60, VRX 70, VRX 80 ball bearing versions on the VR30 for you BMW guys that are somehow still watching. What is that the best? Or what is the best? Oh, okay. Out of those three, for your average person, we still love the VRX 70s because they're not that laggy. But like, also, a lot of you are not ready for what a turbo upgrade entails in general. Like, the stock turbos are very torquey, very responsive. None of the upgraded turbos are that responsive, right? The VRX 60 is closer, but it's not going to be that. And the reason we recommend the 70s is because every single time one of you comes and says, oh, I'm happy with 600 wheel, you're not. You want us to turn it up. When it's on the dyno, like, bro, can we just send it? Yeah. Can we just send it, bro? Come on. So just get the 70s from the start so that we don't have to tell you, hey, no. The 60s, we don't recommend turning them up. The 60s can do it, but it's going to be too much back pressure.
Yeah, it doesn't prefer doing differently. 60 versus 70.
Just get the 70s. If you really, really, really honestly and are not going to ask for more than 600, 60s are perfect. Yeah. The 80s are for like full send cars. They are leggier. Yeah. I think we showed that.
It was like 500 RPM later than the.
You'll notice 70s. At 500 RPM, they're decently leggier. Yeah. Does an oil catch can actually help on the VR30?
Like a really high mileage car, right? Well, not really.
Listen, the best is vent atmosphere, okay?
Well, we can't do that.
Take all of your PCVs, put breather filters on them, and vent atmosphere. That's what I did on my Q50 for the longest time. I didn't have oil all over my engine bay. It was fine. If you're going to do a catch can, do a proper dual, or I think they have like triple port ones, right? Is it dual port? Triple?
Dude, there's a few versions.
Whatever. Get the most inclusive catch can that you can. That actually does all of them and mount it correctly and change it out, all that. It helps. It helps with blow by. You'll stop with that gunk that one of you else asked a question about, right? Yeah. But like, most people just VTA is the best option. If you're going to ask me, VTA is the best option. If you really are like, just VTA. But yeah, catch cans do help.
Yeah, most people just get like the universal kits or...
A peace of mind thing? I don't even know what peace of mind you get from a catch can. Like what, you get less blow by? What peace of mind do you care about? Right, if you have like a really high mileage motor, you might notice the blow by. But like on most of these cars, really Also, if you have blow by where it's like smoking, a catch can's probably not going to help. Your motor's just clapped, right? So like, I don't know. Yeah. Also on that note, we have had people that have had shops install catch cans backwards, and that will ruin your motor. Okay, if you drive like that for several thousands of miles, you will ruin your motor. So, like, if you're going to do it right. Make sure there's no boost leaks. Install it correctly. In general, we don't recommend things that are complicated because the vast majority of you and your mechanics are stupid and you don't install shit correctly. So, unless you're going to go to a shop that you 100% trust and or us, don't just add shit that you don't need that can introduce boost leaks or be wired or be plumbed backwards.
Or just Google the instructions.
People don't follow it. Bro, people don't follow us. We have videos, we have emails, we still get the dumbest questions on a daily basis. They don't read and they don't follow. Simplicity is key. What are some of the key things that Qzilla did right to stay healthy? Okay.
Okay. First of all, I'll post the post we just made of his car. That car ran a 9.60 quarter mile.
Stock motor, stock trans. Yeah. It's been at above 800 wheel for over a year on that car. Not at over, it's like 650 wheel torque, right?
It's 670 torque right now.
Yeah, for over a year, it has been at that level. What did he do right? The number one thing I'm going to say is it's not a daily driver. He does not daily drive that car. Okay, so that's one big thing. But that also means that every time he is in the car, he beats the living shit out of it at high RPM within the limits while checking everything, while logging, while doing everything he is supposed to do, right? If every one of you daily drives your cars like that, that's great. Your cars will live forever. The vast majority of failures happen when you're putting around town, the engine's cold, or it's too hot. Usually, actually, it's your engine oil temp isn't hot enough. Most of you don't realize you're putting thick oil in these cars that isn't up to operating temp until like 220, 230. And you're not getting your oil temp that hot because the engine oil coolers on these cars are really good. So a lot of you are like beating around on the car at like 180, 190, which is like warm, but it's not warm enough for prolonged abuse, right? And that's something that we should probably do like a video on and discuss further at some point with other people.
Something you can change. It's like the BMWs where it's like
we're not allowed to adjust it. It's gonna cool whatever it cools, right? But okay, besides the point, he doesn't daily drive that car. A lot of the failures that are happening to a lot of these guys that drive is you're driving a car that is meant for wide open, everything's tuned properly, but you're lugging it around. And this is something I've been saying since the dawn of goddamn time. Don't floor your car at 2,000 RPM while trying to pass a grandma in a Camry.
And like
if you have the transmission tune, it helps because it'll downshift fast. You'll be better. But like realistically, watch your RPMs, man. Don't be lugging your car below 5,000 RPM, right? Yeah. Qzilla's car lives above 5,000. The only time it's below 5,000 is at idle or on launch and first gear. Beyond that, it is living above 5,000 RPM, and that is why that torque has not broken anything. Yeah. That is why it's running. So that's honestly, you ask me the main thing, that's the main thing.
He also has the right setup to make that kind of torque.
Also, he has all the mods in the world that he needs, right? He has all the fueling. He buys everything we tell him to buy. It took us a while to get here, but he has it set up the way we want it set up, and he knows what to monitor. He's watching stuff, man. Yep. He sees a problem, he lets out. You're not doing that when you daily drive your car.
I've had people mention this a few times. I want to do a video where we show people like how to set up a basic dashboard on EcuTech.
We can export the dashboards, right?
Yeah, but it depends on the car. Like
make the video on the Q50, and then make a file that you can export because most guys use iPhones. Give them an iPhone file, or like based on the iPhone resolution.
The Android guys can just look at that and just do.
Android guys are smart enough to not need to do that anyway. They're not going to need to follow it.
But anyways, like we should do a video telling people what to really look at during regular driving, what period of driving. Because nobody knows like what you mean by looking at charger temperature, looking at oil temperature, looking at oil.
That's a good video. We'll make a video. That's a good. People have asked this a lot. We'll do it. All right. What else? God, that's only 3 questions, but I'm tired of talking. Any preventative job done like oil solenoid delete? Yeah, I think he did delete his oil solenoid, or he's proactively maintained it. Deleting it does help, but again, his car lives above 5,000 RPM, and he's watching stuff. I can't remember right now if he did that. But even if he didn't, he's watching his data. The number one thing is being a hawk about your data, and that's not. We can't expect that of regular people, right?
But if you have a car at that level, you should be.
Yeah.
Like, just like your video made that you're not ready for a fast car. If you're not
go watch my reel that I yelled at you guys.
And also now with RaceROM 6, we have a safety now. So if wide open throttle and oil pressure is below whatever threshold we set, it cuts power. So you don't have to be like a hawk on that specific parameter. But still, it's something good to look at every now and then.
Yeah. RaceROM 6, more in depth. Things like traction control, DSG shifts, pops and bangs, user adjustable things. Okay. We already went over this. So this person obviously doesn't know that we went over this. So I'm not going to say what I've already said because you all have watched that by now. He specifically asked about traction control, which I have not gone over. We have traction control maps set up, and they take up 2 or 3 custom maps of ours, which is what we do on all the cars that support traction control. The problem is, with the current implementation of RaceROM 6, wheel speed sensors do not read, so we're missing the information we need to have traction control work. EcuTech is working on that, no ETA, not sure when it's going to come out, but if that ever gets fixed, literally it should just be an update that suddenly your wheel speed sensors read if you update to the newest file in Flash. and anyone with RaceROM 6 already will just have traction control start working.
Yeah.
We'll just have to enable the custom input that we disable, because I don't want you guys clicking it thinking it's working and it's not, and then you're trusting a system that doesn't exist.
Yeah, and we've had that on the VQs, and even the B58 TU cars, including
the Supra. We have a real nice on the Supra. So when it does start working, it'll be fantastic.
And it'll be a slider you can adjust from all the way off to.
So like if you put radials on it, you don't have to worry about it.
Yep.
Difference in gas quality when tuning a car in USA versus Canada. This is great, actually. So.
Oh no, the Canadian dude here.
No, but this is really good, because 93 is not always 93 within the United States and in Canada, in the same way that 94 in Canada is not always 94. So bottom line is gas quality varies across the board. And this is something I tell people all the time. If you get the car tuned by us, find the best gas station in town that you have, usually a Shell in a good part of town, right? That doesn't mean that every Shell is good. There's a Shell down the street from us that has the worst 93.
In this area
it's piss water.
Yeah.
Okay. And meanwhile, the HEB has great 93.
For whatever reason.
So like, it's not always going to be the same. And the best thing you can do is after you get downloaded, we are very big on customer education. We try and teach you guys everything. And the most important thing we teach you is watch knock retard. And when you're filling up a new tank, it's really easy, man. Load up your thing right after a new tank. Do a slight pull. Do like a third gear pull. See if you get knocked that you don't usually. If you get knocked, you know that gas you filled up is crap, right? And you go try another gas station. But on the topic of 93 versus 94, Canada versus USA, Canada can have much better gas. The Petro Canada 94 is phenomenal, but that's only on the east side of Canada. The 94 in like Alberta and British Columbia is worse than 91. So I don't know why, it just is. So we stopped offering people any kind of like aggressive tuning on 94. We just don't fill up 91, at like Esso or Shell. And then on the east side of Canada, Petro Canada has 94. And in the summer, it's fantastic. In the winter, they cut it with some god-awful shit that blows up every goddamn car. So again, we stopped pushing cars on 94. Like the only we push on 94 is people who are like really going to check it in the summer and make sure when they fill up that it's a good tank. So overall, in Canada, you are better off filling up 91 or 93 from Shell and just sticking to that gas station, even though there is technically 94 available. In the States, funny enough, consistently the best gas that we find is the 92 in Hawaii and the 92 in Washington State. No idea why. Those cars love it. They don't knock. They have really good octane in them, even though it's rated at 92. It performs better than 93 that most of you fill up around the country.
Wild.
Yeah. So bottom line, you really have to, if you're really going to be serious about it, you need to be testing this shit. Like, I'm not saying like grab an octane tester or something. I don't even know if that exists for like a handheld usage, but fill it up, go do a pull. If you're not sure, send us a log. But like realistically, do a pull wide open, see if you get knock retard that you shouldn't be getting. We teach you guys these things for a reason when you get tuned. So yeah.
If you have 91 in California,
same thing, 91. Find the best 91.
You're just cooked.
But you're tuned for 91 at that point. Don't go from 93 to 91. Very important. Yeah. How has S58 progress been compared to other reputable S58 tuners? So this is an interesting question because I personally don't talk to other S58 tuners. Like I know a lot of BMW tuners, but I don't talk to them on a daily basis. And the ones I know is like, I like Doug Newton. I talk to him. He's a cool guy. Outside of that, I don't even know if we talk to any BMW tuners like.
Not like that.
And even Doug, I talk to Doug when I see him at events.
We talk to a lot of shops because we work with.
Yeah, we talk to a lot of shops.
They use whatever tuners that the customer prefers, what they prefer.
I think progress-wise, I will say that one thing we have learned is a lot of people have really high-reading dynos. So when we first started tuning the S58s, I was like, is it our dyno or are we just not tuning them right?
We just suck.
Right? And then I had all of my customers run on the street, and if you look in Houston, consistently every S58 tuned by us in Houston is faster than every other S58 here on stock turbos. I mean, I guess I don't have to put that caveat because there's not a lot of upgraded turbos out here.
Upgraded turbo S58s are done by us anyways.
Yeah, and we're not talking about like full-size cars that are at the shop. I'm talking about your everyday dudes that are on the street with a tune. So I quickly learned that no, our dyno just reads low, their dynos read high, whatever it is. I think progress-wise, we came out swinging on the S58, man. It wasn't difficult for us to transfer our knowledge, combine what we know across the B58 and other cars, and then start tuning the S58s. And the main thing we do differently is we're not leaning the cars out versus a lot of these other tuners that get like really high dyno numbers. we're not desensitizing knock sensors, and we're not eating the turbos. Like most of these cars, you do what, 30, 31 pounds?
Yeah, 32 sometimes.
Some cars that are like really healthy, we do 32 on.
Yes.
Dude, there's guys out there pushing like 34 pounds, freaking like 20 degrees of timing, leaned out to like 0.9, and they're running slower times because the car is not happy.
Yeah.
And so progress-wise on stock turbos, especially, like we came out swinging with it. I don't think like I can count on like my hand how many cars we tuned that don't run a 5, 60 to 130, and all of those are like the turbos just clapped, you know, or they don't have a transmission tune,
or just they're running at 2,000 plus DA.
Yeah, or they're just not, you know, they're like not even in Houston. They're worse DA than Houston.
We get these guys that, you know, hop straight off a dyno, they go home, it's 2,000 DA all set.
They do a 5.
They'll throw like 5.9, 6.0,
6.0, 5.9,
and a 10.0 quarter mile.
Yeah, and then it'll be like 2,000 DA at night.
What the heck?
And they'll run.
Yeah.
They'll run. Hi, Nabeed.
Yeah.
They'll run. You want to come say hi on the video?
Oh yeah, but real quick, back on the dyno thing though. Remember back when you were stressing about only making 680 something on Mo's car? 689.
Yeah, and then it ran a 5.9.
No, it ran a 5.77.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Mo's car, the first time we dynoed it, when I first started tuning, it only made 689. I'm like, oh shit, what are we doing wrong? Yeah. And then it ran a 5.77, which like there's cars that dyno 750 that don't run.
That don't run that.
5.77.
So that's when we made the video like dyno numbers. Do they matter? Yes, for tuning. But
that MG video with the AI generated image. I remember that.
But it's so people get too in the BMW world.
They get too caught up.
Get too caught up on the peak numbers on a dyno. A lot of times
instead of what it runs on the street.
They don't ever. These dyno graphs never show a baseline. Never shows the correction factor, the ambient conditions, and then so you have nothing to base off of. So you don't know what it actually makes, what it gained from stock or OTS, whatever. And these cars don't ever run a time. When you see a 700. People make 800 horsepower on stock turbos, and they run the same time as like an OTS car. Yeah, like it's just like, bro, then what's like, you know, it's all marketing. It's marketing, right? We try to market in a slightly different way. We show a lot of dyno numbers. That's the main post we do.
He's passionate about this because he does all the BMW tunes.
But we like to show whenever there's results. We like to show them as well at the same time. For example, there's an M2 here that's in the Houston area that we tuned a while back.
Greg.
Oh my god, dude, this guy.
So he's got people questioning their lives outside, bro.
Dude. Yeah, and okay, this guy, dude, after the dyno, I was like, dude, go do a street log, and also, he didn't tell me he was gonna drag it. He just did a street log, starting in 4th gear, 3,500 RPM, he just got on it. And then he hit a 5.8, 6130 in like 2000 VA. Yeah. I'm like, yo, I know the M2's light, but like this is pretty.
This is crazy, yeah.
And then that car runs a consistent 5.6 to 5.7 in like.
What did a dyno like 720?
710.
710.
710 horsepower.
There you go. Yeah.
710 horsepower, running faster times than most cars making 750 plus on whatever dyno.
Which is why we don't really pay attention to dyno numbers. On our dyno, if you make 700, you're gonna run a 5. Yeah. That's consistently what we've seen.
If you make 690,
you'll still run a 5.
Yeah, it'll still run a 5. Yeah. If you have the transmission tuning set up, you know how to drive the car, you know how to.
Also, this translates to a 9 on the street. Just putting that out there. Like if you're an X-Drive car, it's a 9 on the street. Yeah. And Greg runs those times on an M2 while still spinning. Like he still hasn't dialed in his tire setup or anything, so he's still spinning off the hit.
He starts in 3rd gear. Yeah. So I don't know how with the.
If he dead hooked, I assume that car runs a 5.5 dead hooking. But you know, I don't know if he'll ever get to that point.
He's never ran it in cool weather.
It's always been 2,000 plus DA.
Yeah. Yep. I think the best run was like a 1,500 DA, but he spins more when it gets
That's true.
So it's also true. Yeah. So if you can get it to hook in like 1,000 DA or less, like.
Wouldn't it be nice if we still had a track in Houston where we get 60 to 130s on the track?
Or even just a quarter mile. That car could run a quarter mile.
Yeah, it would run. It would run a 9 easy.
Or even any of these S58s we tune that only does 60 to 130s on the street because they don't want to do street digs. Yep. Even though I set up the transient to do it with no driver mod needed. Yep. I literally give every one of these X-Drive M3 M4 guys.
He's letting his nuts hang.
Driver mod needed XHP setting tune. I literally flash it. I have 18-year-olds buying these M3s, paying us for a tune. I show them how to do it on the street right here, and they go home and do a nice second quarter mile.
That's true.
Just getting a launch control.
You know, I wonder if we should just do a post of all the consistent 9s and 5s we have from customers, and just do a video because, like, that's a great question. Progress-wise, man, we're consistent as hell. We run what every single M3, M4, M2 should be running on the street. Yeah. So, you know, I don't know what more you guys want.
We have Steve's Performance Shop in Canada.
He's going for a 9.5 now, right?
Yeah, so that's an example.
DI only.
Example of pretty much the same tuning strategy on a car, but in really good
weather on a track.
Good fuel on a track. That car ran a 9.6 quarter mile running the same boost and timing I push on all these cars in Houston.
And he's going for a 9.5 when it cools down because
that's a
right before winter for them. I think he had tools in the back, bro. He's a cool guy. If you're in Ontario, Steve's Performance Shop. Steve is a good guy. He has those two tennis ball looking it's an M3 and an M4 vert, right?
Yeah.
We ran a 9 on an M4 vert.
9.8.
Yeah.
On the
that thing's heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
okay, can you last one? Can you guys tune any car, or can you only tune the car brands you've advertised on your website? Sorry, I'm just checking the time. I don't mean to do that while reading your question.
Yeah.
If I have the software, I can tune any car. The reason we don't tune a lot of cars, I either don't like the software implementation that exists, I don't have the software for it, or quite frankly, the market is not worth it.
It's not.
But like we have customers that come to us. So a lot of the other cars that we tune that we don't advertise, right? LT1s, LT4s, LF4s. We do certain Audis. We did advertise the 4OTs, the EA824, but I don't have it anymore. We tune the EA839s. We tune the EA888s.
We tune a lot of random stuff.
Yeah,
even some Hondas.
I've done some like standalones that people ask. We do Honda. We do the FA20 Type Rs.
No,
FK8 Type Rs.
Yeah, so the K20Cs, and then the
he tunes them, not me.
But I don't like doing them because we can't charge a lot of money for those.
And the customers are cheap, and
they're cheap cars to start with. That's why.
But they also like the Type R guys. Even if you show them a dynograph, you show them that their tune was shit. You put our tune on it. It's smoother, makes more power. Like, but you don't tune Honda, so I don't trust you. So a lot of it is we just don't do it because it's not worth the hassle. But we tune like.
Speaking of,
I'm probably forgetting, bro. We tune VK56s. We do the VQ37s that's advertised.
Speaking of FK8s, I don't think this is like a record or anything, but your boy Mark, I just tuned his Type R. So he went back to the stock fuel system for whatever reason. He wants to test some shit out. He put a China hybrid turbo on it with stock fuel system. You already know those stock fuel systems tap out on 93.
Yeah.
Pushing whatever boost, right? Sure. That car, we made 400 horsepower on a stock fuel
That's
system,
pretty good.
Hybrid turbo only, no fuel system, just full bolt on
You must have been happy with that.
Yeah, and then I was like, you know what's a good way to increase octane but not ethanol content? Put race gas in it.
Yeah.
And see what happens, right? He put Sunoco like MS100, whatever, VP MS100. So
MS100 or 109?
100. So it's equivalent to like a E30, E40 mix.
Sure.
And then so that's what you would have ran if you had a high pressure, low pressure.
Right, just to see what power he would make. And he made 400 on a hybrid turbo.
440 on that.
Oh crap!
Smooth grab.
That's quick. 440 in a Type R would be fast.
And then he raced an RS3, a full bolt on RS3 the same night, and he got him on the top end, which is kind of wild. If you think about a top end being a car to make similar power and a manual Type R. But anyways, like I don't know if he's posted in like the forums or anything. He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna post this," and it's like insane.
Yeah, he probably will.
It's like the most low budget 400 plus.
That's awesome.
You can get.
Yeah.
But it's like such a random niche thing that we do, but we don't really advertise.
Dude, I've tuned the Gen 2 Viper on an old AEM standalone from like 2002.
Yeah.
That we'll do. If you're like a friend of ours or a previous customer and you want us to tune a car, let us know. And you're willing to leave it with us, let us know and we'll mess with it.
Is Anna not here?
Anyway, that's our time. Let me go find Anna.
Yeah. Okay, we have like 30 seconds of battery left. It's like actually.
If you enjoyed this video, want more, comment. We'll do more yap sessions and ask us more questions. I can always talk more.
Nice. He's a professional yap. Oh, don't do that.
It hurts your ears, Chidon.